You and I have been around pre-rule changes, post-rule changes in baseball. There were many days, I think that I would have had a better family life if the game times weren't 3:35 every single night, getting home on a Tuesday at 1 a.m., and now you're looking at 2:20s all the time. I assume that you're loving it as the rest of the country is.
I'm good with that. You know what? When you're playing or you're a manager, you go where they tell you when they tell you. But when they make it a little bit easier for everybody, that's a good thing.
I would yell from the president's suite or the GM suite. I'd yell to players to get in the box. I'd yell to pitchers, toe the rubber, man. Like let's go. And I wanted, because pace to me matters, and I understand that we want the pitchers to sometimes gain their composure. I always understood that players when you're a hitter, try to get the pitcher out of rhythm. But really, when it's about habit, doing your batting gloves and all the other stuff they do, that's not strategic. That's habitual. And I think we've done a great job of getting rid of that.
I think we were part of the blame, though, as an industry, because, we all of a sudden we had walk-up songs, and, I think one thing led to another. And I know we're kind of slow with change, but I think they did a really good job because I think it's good for the game. I don't think quicker has to be the goal. I think better has to be the goal. But not so much dead time is certainly going to make the game better.
We actually, Terry, you may remember this. We called it pace of action, not pace of play inside the industry.
Which makes a lot of sense to me.
We wanted more action, and that's what fans want. And we've seen it with an increase in attendance everywhere but Oakland. We've seen it with a great situation happening with people engaging in baseball better, which is always a positive thing because we have a season underway. Who do you root for when the Guardians play the Red Sox?
Well, I still work for the Guardians. So
who do you root for?
That's an easy one, man. I'm Cleveland through and through. I certainly have fond memories of everything but the way it ended in Boston. But I spent 11 years in Cleveland, and I'm still an employee. A lot of the coaches are still the same guys that I was with. You can't spend 11 years in a place. I mean, shoot, man, they're some of my best friends in the whole world that are still there.
I love that fact. I had a hard time. The other time I knew I was ready to leave sports is when I rooted against so many teams. The teams were playing each other, and I wanted a tie. Because you've been around like every National League East team. You just want them to lose every time. And when you manage multiple teams, multiple divisions, you're loyal to Cleveland. It's hard then to root for teams.
David, I found when we would lose, I'd go home at night and I tried to figure out a way where every other team would lose. And
Me too.
As you found out, it's impossible because you just can't tie. But it was just you get miserable.
It's funny. I would root for rainouts. All these retractable roofs totally really did me in because I could root for the game just not to be played because there's situations like when Atlanta would play the Mets. Right. I can't possibly have any of those teams win.
Whoever came up with, misery loves company knew what they were talking about.
That's for sure.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.